Oh man, it's almost 4:30. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
This is the Social Norm.
1, 2. You want top dollar and pop bottles and drop knowledge. Hit the throttle on nice autos without college. Do yourself a solid, put them boys on your screen. Wait, who do you mean? I mean Canteen and Beans. When the social norm is on, you better pay attention. They teach you lessons, make you laugh when you're stressing. Must I mention that the style is infectious? I gotta have it, I gotta have it. The rapid fire gabbing on my tablet. My boys established a gamut of information, from relations to dating to when your leader gets impatient. They're lacing the nation every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4:30. The Social Norm Podcast, you heard me?
It's the Social Norm.
And I'm just getting warm.
It's the Social Norm.
And I'm just getting warm.
It's the Social Norm.
And I'm
What up, y'all? Yo. You already know what it is, man. Hey, we back at it again with another one. Hey, I'm your boy Canteen. This is my man Bean.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, it's the Social Norm. We talk to you fellas, open y'all minds up, make y'all think a little different so y'all can be the best y'all can be. Now, today's episode, you know we got another banger for y'all. All right. Today's episode is why you're not
Living your purpose.
there it is.
There you go.
Why you haven't
I got
found-
you. I
why
got
you
you.
haven't found your purpose.
Found your
yet.
purpose.
All right. And the reason I want to go ahead and talk about this because I had a situation. And anybody who follows me on Instagram, follows me on Facebook or whatever, they know me and Beans, we've been going through these little workouts. Been trying to go do these group workouts. And what I like to do is promote it and show myself working out, the struggles of me, getting our grind on. And I show Beans and I show some other people that we associate ourselves with when it comes to working out. And we all in these little groups, right? And overall, I pretty much do this because I want people to see, hey, I'm not just talking to talk. I'm actually trying to better myself and get myself in a good, positive mental state and physical state.
Okay.
And I'm showing off the other people who are working hard and trying to do the same thing. And hopefully from doing that, maybe I can inspire other people to go ahead and try to get themselves in the best mental state and physical state for themselves. Now, all of a sudden, I'm doing me. This is what I do. This is what everybody's seen me do. And I get a lot of support and a lot of people saying, keep it going. I like your videos and things like that. But I had one person come, and they didn't even really address me. They addressed other people, and then it got back to me where they were like, I don't appreciate you recording me or and other people don't appreciate you recording them. And mind you, this is in a public setting of a group workouts. And I said, when the person who came to me and told me this, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. And they had an issue with it. And I get it. A lot of people who aren't used to being recorded tend to have an issue with someone recording them.
Now, was it you recording or you recording them? They wanted you to stop, period, or
they wanted me to stop recording them. So I'm not just recording them. I'm recording myself. And you're in the background and you're there. Okay. And I'm like, hey, I'm with some people and we're just working out together. So they were mad that they were in the video. And I feel like for myself, I'm at a point in my life now where I know what I want to do. And I know I'm not hurting nobody. Now, if I do something that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's on you. That has nothing to do with me. If I'm not purposely hurting you, just makes you feel uncomfortable. I care more about what I'm doing than caring more about what other people feel like when I'm doing it. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So I know myself. I know I'm not out here to try to embarrass people. I'm not out here to try to make people look bad. I'm out here to try to motivate and show people that look at me, look at other people. We're all working together. We're all trying to achieve somewhat the same goal. So I'm only doing positivity, but I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing because it makes you feel uncomfortable. And I think I wanted to wrap this around because I want other people to understand the reason a lot of people don't know what their purpose is because they listen to other people. They listen to what other people want them to do instead of listening to what they want to do
Okay.
inside. You know what I'm saying? How many of us actually go and sit down by ourselves and ask ourselves what we really want in life? How do we want our lives to be in the world? You know what I mean?
Yes, I see what you mean.
So, and it's gonna ruffle a lot of people's feathers when you do what you want to do and not worry about what other people want, and that's okay. Be confident in yourself to know what you're doing. If you're not hurting anyone, you can't hurt people for being who you are. And if it does, to the sense of make people feel uncomfortable, well, that's on them. That has nothing to do with you. That's something they have to figure out for themselves. And like I tell people, if you don't like what someone's doing, move around. Get away from them if you don't like what they're doing. You know what I mean? We're
So
not
no,
statues.
that's true. That's true. So no, I'm trying to see, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here for a second. So would it be, and I know you shouldn't really compromise in the way, how you're trying to move and the way you're trying to live. But would it be easier to just keep the camera on yourself? One would say that. What one would say, hey, why don't you just keep it right here?
Yeah, and this is the thing. If you wanted to be that person and be nice to say, you know what, I'm going to bend to what other people want to make them feel okay around me and not do exactly what I want. Like if I wanted to just focus on myself, you know what I mean, which I mainly do,
That's true.
that's
I've
fine.
seen, yeah.
But I'm not gonna tiptoe around other people because it makes them feel uncomfortable that I'm recording. If you want to be a blogger or you want to be a ventriloquist or you want to be whatever you want to be, let's say you want to be a ventriloquist and you bring a fucking dummy around all the time and you're talking because you're practicing on being a ventriloquist. If it makes other people feel uncomfortable, that's on them. That ain't on you. If they tell you don't bring that dummy around me, because I don't want to be seen with, guess what? This is who I am. This is what I'm doing. If you don't like that, move around. And that is gonna make you're gonna feel some type of strength when it comes with this because there's so many of us who bend to what other people want, whether it be friends, family, teachers, people we don't even know, people on internet, because you want to make everybody else feel good. But you're doing it at the expense of making yourself feel good.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying?
And you can't make everybody happy.
You can't.
Unfortunately, that's just life.
And if I'm telling you right now, the worst thing you could possibly do is sit around trying to figure out how to make everybody happy. You understand how many people have came to me with an opinion on how to do this show? With an opinion on what topics I shouldn't talk about, what topics I should talk about, what type of language I should use, what type of, you know what I mean? Everything. It's just like, dude, if I listened to everything everybody else wanted me to do, guess what?
It wouldn't be this anymore.
It wouldn't be the social norm. I'd be doing everything somebody else wanted. Like, and I'm not saying we're all guilty of this because I'm saying right now, when we first started looking into this, I was looking at every which way how to do this. Like, how can I look like these guys? How can I look like that guy? You know what I mean? And in a sense, I almost lost what I was trying to do.
Yeah,
Which
you
is
can only do You can only do you. You can't be somebody else.
And you should never apologize for doing you, for being who you want to be. If that's who you are, that's who you are. Don't be ashamed of it. You know what I mean? Because
No, I got you.
and my thing was, this person who we've had situations with, I said, this is a person who wants it their way all the time, especially when it comes to the opposite sex. And it's not just but I just noticed that, and I said, I'm not gonna bend to what they want because they feel like it should be this way. Well, who are they? Because this is the thing. A lot of times we'll have people who say, this is how you should be. This is how you should. But are these people you actually want to look up to? Meaning, do you want to be this type of person? You know what I mean? I watched a video where it was a millionaire. He said, look, you can't ask people who ain't millionaires how to be millionaires. They don't know. You know what I mean? You got to talk to someone who's been there before.
Yeah, I've told you a similar story like this. Somebody was trying to tell me how to spend and save my money.
Yeah,
but they were broke, and I was like, "Why in the world would I listen to you?"
It's like, okay, example. Look at me. I'm overweight. It'd be like me trying to tell you how to diet.
Okay, I see it.
How can I tell you how to diet if I don't even follow what like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody tell you how to cut hair, but then they hair look messed up and they don't know how to cut, like, you need to show me, you need to be what I want. Like, I can follow people who I actually want to follow. If you're ahead of where I want to be, you know what I mean? Somebody like Joe Rogan or somebody who's in a space that's where I want to be in life. You know what I mean? I have no problem taking advice from them. But people who aren't trying to do what I'm doing or be where I'm trying to be, I'm not taking advice from them.
Okay, so what if this person came to me like, hey, if they came to be like, hey, could you just kind of skip around me?
If you're in public, you know what I mean? I'm like I said, if I don't have a problem trying, like, if you're way out of my area, if you're in my circle and I'm recording, you see where my camera is. Move away. Say, if you, like you said, if you personally came to me, and that's the thing, this person has not come to me personally. If they came to me and was like, look, can you try not to put me in the videos? I'm not an asshole enough to say, no, you're going to be in the videos. No, I'm not like that. Okay, that's fine. But you're not going to tell me not to do something that's in the public eye, and I'm trying to promote something in my life. So that's why I'm trying to get y'all to understand. The way you find out your purpose is stop listening to what other people want and ask yourself, what do you want? What do you want to represent? What do you want to be? Because if you're just going to keep following what other people tell you, you're going to go around in circles because you're never going to get what you internally want to do. And it's not, people call it selfish. Selfish is not, there's nothing wrong with being selfish. There's nothing wrong with wanting something for yourself more than you want for other people. And the fact is, if you're going to, when you go and do stuff for yourself more and more and more, you end up knowing who you are and you end up having a happier life. You start figuring out what you like to do, what you don't like to do, and then you start to find out what your actual purpose is in life. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to sit around and just bend to what other people want you to do, you're just going to keep going around in circles because you're going to be like, well, I did this and I'm not really liking that. So now I'm going to go this way. And why don't you sit down and actually find out what you like to do?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I had to learn that myself. I've been learning a lot of things the hard way this year. Okay. Mm-hmm. So basically it was the same thing doing the podcast, even working out.
Oh, you guys okay. I'm listening.
Okay, even working out. I thought you'd read that off. Even working out. Unfortunately, sometimes the people who try to sabotage you.
What up, Child on Demand?
Hey,
what up?
The people who try to sabotage you are the people in your own circle. sometimes, and unfortunately I had to open my eyes to realize that, and just you got to ignore them. Like you said, you got to keep going, do what makes you happy.
Yeah, let me see this. She said, I think you guys should connect Facebook and stay on Facebook, then pass this on as a social media person working for celebrities, and I will have more traffic. You will have more traffic. Okay. What did she say? Let's see. We'll tune in for a bit. All right, appreciate you. Appreciate you tuning in.
Who's that now?
This is Chad on Demand. Chai on Demand. I'm gonna have to go look up her page. But I want to go to this video
Okay.
because it's from the movie The Notebook.
Oh Lord.
And this movie, I'm not a person that really watches romantic,
Okay.
I wouldn't say romantic comedy, just a romance movie. But this movie is exactly, this scene represents everything I was like thinking of. So let's go ahead and get into this.
All right. We'll see how you tie this in.
Yeah, because in this scene, like this dude pretty much like he breaks it down easy as hell. She doesn't know what she wants to do. She doesn't know if she wants to be with this man or be with that man or.
I haven't seen this movie forever.
All right, let's look at it.
It's about security.
What is that supposed to mean?
Money!
What are you
He's got a lot of money.
Now I hate you, you
Well, I
slow
hate
bastard.
you. If you leave here, I hate you.
What,
Hey, you
have
if
you
you
been
leave
paying
here.
attention to anything that's been happening?
I
to
guess
me?
not. I think I must have misread all of those signals.
I guess you did.
Now she's running away because she's pretty much trying to tell him that she wants to break up with this dude. She wants to break up with him because she's got this other guy who's like a safe guy that everybody wants her to marry. He's the typical, rich dude that he's supposed to, should have an easy life.
Okay.
You're bored. You're bored and you know it. You wouldn't be here if there wasn't something missing.
Arrogant son of a bitch.
Would you just stay with me?
Stay with you. What for? Look at us. We're already fighting.
Well, that's what we do. We fight. You tell me when I'm being an arrogant son of a bitch, and I tell you when you're being a pain in the ass, which you are 99% of the time. I'm not afraid to hurt your feelings. They have like a 2-second rebound rate, and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
Now,
he kept it all the way
100%. He let her know, you know what? You're a pain in the ass, and I'm not afraid to tell you that. And the only reason you over here is because you're bored, and you know internally that's not what you want. You want somebody who's gonna be real with you, who gonna put it down on you and tell you, look, stop with the shit.
He did it the right way though. He said, "You a pain in the ass. I'm an arrogant son of a bitch."
Yeah, he's letting them know.
This is what we do.
This is what we do. We fight, we argue, but we love each other, and we're gonna keep. And that's the routine we do. But she's scared because she knows the other guy is like what everybody else is telling her to do.
So what?
So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. And we're going to have to work at this every day, but I want to do that because I want you. I want all of you forever, you and me, every day. Will you do something for me? Please? You just picture your life for me? 30 years from now, 40 years from now?
Now, I'm going to finish up in a second, but I want y'all to do the same thing. Picture your life 30 years from now, 40 years from now. If you don't figure out what you like to do, where do you think your life going to go? Now, imagine you doing what you actually love to do. You actually internally passionate about, and then think about what your life will be in 40 years.
Exactly. You'll live a fulfilled life.
What's it look like? If it's with that guy, go. Go. I lost you once. I think I could do it again. If I thought it's what you really wanted. But don't you take the easy way out.
What easy way? There is no easy way. No matter what I do, somebody gets hurt.
Would you stop?
You heard that? Somebody gets hurt. She's worried about what other people are going to feel like. Not how she's going to feel, how other people. And that's what we've done in our lives. We sat around and worried about what other people wanted, how other people felt, and didn't think about what we actually wanted, what we felt. It's not about trying to make everybody be happy. You're never gonna make everybody happy.
And another thing is, you don't, when you live in your purpose, you don't set out to hurt people's feelings.
And
you're going to.
Yeah, but not even that. It's not your responsibility.
It's really not.
Why do we put this burden on ourselves that we have to be the ones to make everybody feel good? Instead of being accountable for our own selves. See, that's the funny thing. We'll put the burden on other people that we have to make them feel good. But then we won't put the burden on ourselves to make ourselves feel good.
Well, yeah, because we're taught to consider other people's feelings.
Yeah, but the problem with that, see, this is the problem. They don't put the full statement of that sentence. Consider other people's feelings, but not over your own.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Let's go.
Stop thinking about what everyone wants. Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
It is that simple. Sit your ass in a room by yourself and ask yourself, what do you want?
I think that part is simple. I think where most people have the hang up is they know what they want, but they
don't want to do what it takes to get it, which is meaning making the actual choice and decision.
Yes, and going out and
let's be honest,
you got to do.
Now, women are the hardest with this. Men have gotten worse with it over the time too. When it comes to making a decision, as far as, because you got to realize once you make a decision, most of the time you got to stick with that decision.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't want to be wrong.
That's the thing.
They don't want to fail.
But the thing is, can you actually be wrong if it's what's inside what you feel?
No, if you live in your purpose, no. Whatever move you make is not going to be wrong.
You can live with it because you knew that was the choice at the time you wanted, whether it was right, wrong, or indifferent, whether it made your life, because whatever choice you make it's gonna direct your life a certain way.
Yeah, there's this old lady I know who always used to say, make a decision, even if it's the wrong one.
Yeah,
just make a decision.
Because you teeter tossing from what other people want to what you want back and forth, you're going in circles. You're not getting anywhere with it. You know what I mean? So let's finish this off.
God damn it. What do you want?
I have to go.
She made the decision.
At that point, she knew I can't be happy, so I'm going to choose what other people want me to do, and I have to leave here.
She chose wrong, but she still chose.
Yeah. He said, "Okay, you're not as strong as I thought you were," and that was it. So it's so many of us who go through the same thing where we choose what other people want because we think that's the safe choice. We think that's the way we should do it, and everything like that.
Let other people influence us. I think it's kind of a subconscious thing too, you know. Like a lot of times when your friends or your family tell you shouldn't do certain things, and I've had this happen to me, and I think to myself, well, you know, they love me, they're not gonna steer me wrong, and things like that. Even though it wasn't the best choice for me. That I think a lot of times people fall into that sand trap.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be willing to take the risks in life. I think we as people get so scared. Hold up, I gotta mute this. There we go. We get so scared of taking risks, but I can honestly say every time I've ever taken a risk, it's always worked out for me in the long run. Whether I failed or didn't fail, it like worked out for me. And I'm like, oh, you know what? If I took more risks in life, I'd probably get more out of life.
And you know what's crazy? People don't think like that. Even I'm be real with you. I never used to think like that.
But the funny thing is, like, even when you take a risk, you fail, right? Everything is a calculated risk. Like I think it stems from like back in like pre like caveman days, because you got to realize back in the old days when you were like cavemen, if you took a risk, that risk could pretty much, it was life or death.
Yeah, you were.
There was no like do-overs and you could try to work. But we live in modern times where you can get do-over after do-over after do-over.
The risk
for the most part.
The risk is minimized.
Yeah. So the fact is, we still live in our DNA of taking risks because, like you said, back in the caveman days, dude walk outside and turn the wrong way, he getting eaten by a saber-tooth.
Yeah, pterodactyl come and snatch him up.
So he's like, I'm real cautious, but we still have that in us, but we don't have the actual same, I guess, danger.
Yes,
would it be?
There's not the same
consequences. We don't have the same
Yes.
consequences as they did.
Like they had no choice.
So
if I don't come out this cave, I won't be able to eat. I won't be able to live. But even though certain death is out there,
yeah,
I still got to go out.
Now, I want to also say this. I feel like, you know how they say men mostly die before women?
Yes, I keep hearing that.
I believe the reason men die before women is because we try to please them more. And from pleasing other people, it causes you more stress. And that's why I think we die earlier. I think if you gave I don't give a fuck what other people think, and I'm just going to do what I like to do, and if you like that, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. There's a lot more freedom from that. There's less stress involved.
Less weight on your shoulders.
Less weight. You don't feel obligated that I have to be this certain person for these people. You just do what you feel and what feels right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. There's a certain I'm not trying to call my family here, but I'll do it like this. There's a certain family member.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what he's going through right now.
Okay.
Because now he doesn't do all the things for his wife that he used to. Like he don't do all that running around.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember growing up watching him, and he'd be like, "Yeah, we gotta go to the store, this and this," and this lady be like, "Come on," and she like pull him to the store, like, "You're gonna drive me to the store."
Yeah.
Now he's like, "I ain't going there." You can go to the store. I don't want to go to the store. Now he doing whatever he wants
to do. And guess what? He feels better.
Yeah.
Now she might not like it, and it'd be so frustrating for her. But guess what? She can go to the store. That's not. See, I'm not here to be your chauffeur. If I don't want to do something, that's the thing. If you enjoy taking your there's nothing wrong. I don't want y'all to get confused with this.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with doing things for your significant other.
Yes, and spending time together. Things.
If you like spending time with your woman, you like taking her to the grocery store or driving her certain places because that's something you feel brings you happiness, then do it.
By all means.
And if that's something, you know what I mean, there's nothing wrong. You like cooking meals for your significant other, then do it. But don't do it because you feel obligated to do it. Don't do it because you feel this is what they want me to do, even though I don't enjoy doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've made that mistake even in my marriage. Looking at other marriages,
trying to
emulate and model after
what they did, because you're like, okay, this is how I want to see my marriage to be. But you got to realize this. That woman that you're emulating and that man that you're emulating, that's not your wife.
It's not.
She might not be that way.
Yeah.
And for you to you're going to get frustrated.
Yes.
With her because you're going to want her to be how this woman is. And that's not how she is.
Exactly.
And guess what? You're not how that man is.
Yeah. And I'm about to say she did it to me. She would always be like, well, my father does this and my father does that. And I found out to say, I'm not your father.
Yeah.
You're not married to your father. Like he do what he do.
Now, it is known that a lot of us end up trying to marry or be with people who bring back childhood feelings, which is our parents who have security and comfort and things like that. So we try to find people like that. But in that, you gotta ask, like, if that's not if you find that type of person, that's fine. But if you don't try to make them that type of person, because all you're gonna do is have resentment,
Yep.
and you're not gonna understand why they aren't. You're like, it's funny how when we're in it, you don't understand why they're not doing how your mother or how somebody you wanted a wife to be like are
Exactly.
not doing. You're like, why aren't they just molding themselves like this? Because that's not who they are
That's not,
internally.
that's not them.
In the same way, that's not who you are internally.
Exactly. And I made the mistake of thinking, well, they're not this way, so I have to show them and teach them how to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a fatal flaw. Like, don't ever do that. Don't ever. If your spouse, like you said, if your spouse is not a giver, you can't teach them to be a giver.
No,
they have to want to do it. It have to be in them.
It has to be, and I had to learn that, because my girl, I realized, like, you know what? I don't want to say she's selfish, but she's not as giving as I wanted her to be in certain categories. I wanted
Okay.
her to be giving. When I saw opportunities for her to be giving, she would never take them. And I felt resentment from her, because I was like, why wouldn't you? In my mind, this is how I would be. This is how I would do it if I had this opportunity to show
Yes.
people I care about them, but they didn't. So that made me be like, okay, that doesn't mean that they don't care. It just means that they don't care how they don't do how I think somebody
Yes,
should
they
care.
don't have the same mindset.
Yes, they might care about me, but they do it in a different way.
Exactly. I had to learn that too. I was like, I get just, like I said, this year has been a real big eye opener.
Yeah.
And you can't make like I said, you just can't make someone be different.
Yeah. Hey, if you like the content, man, go ahead and hit that like button, put that share, hit the notification bell, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I mean? Because we over here trying to make things happen for y'all, give y'all some good content. And also, if you want to donate, you know what I mean, go ahead and hit that one time with the Cash App for my man, so he can get these Lunchables. You know what I mean? And
get that love offering.
Hey, man, if you ever want to call into the show, you guys can call 716-218-9317 and hit us up on the show. We'll go ahead, talk to y'all. Any questions y'all got to ask us about the topics, we go with it, man. But we appreciate everybody for rocking with us, Nope, let me go ahead and put that back up there. But
okay.
So that was literally the main thing that I had to realize about myself. I had to stop doing for others and focus on myself. Not saying I don't do things for people, because I still donate. I still let people borrow money and things like that. But I do it in the mindset. I changed how my mindset was about it, because what I do now is, if I give you money, and I've already accepted that if I don't get this money back, I'm at peace with it. I'm at peace.
Okay.
And it gives me that, okay, I gave this money. You'll never ask for money again. Most people don't ask me for money when they don't pay me back. But I'm at peace with it. I'm not mad about it, because I don't feel like I realized that was something I wanted to do. I wanted to help this person out.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not, and I can't, I don't have much to say on this subject, because my track record.
Yeah, you're shot. Y'all know Beans. Don't ever ask him. Don't ask him to borrow money, and don't let him borrow money from you. Because he's not going to help you out.
I tend not to lend money,
and he tends not to.
And I tend not to pay it back either. So I don't ask for money. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think, and I was thinking about this the other day. I think it's because I have this. When it comes to borrowing money, I have this irritation with people who ask me, because in my area, this is dude at this 7-Eleven. This dude's always asking me for money.
Okay.
And it's something, and people fall on hard times. I get it. I've fallen on them too. But for some reason, if you ask me more than like twice, there's a certain level of rage that I feel like, yo, you still out here begging? Like that's
crazy.
I know, and I should be.
That's the pot calling the kettle black.
Yes,
at some point. Like,
yes.
You gotta let that. Like, I don't know. I'm not. judgmental on people. I know people going hard times. So if they ask me, I'm like, hey man, if I got it for them, I got it for them. If I don't, look, I ain't got it. I'm sorry. But I don't trip when people ask me for money. I know people gonna ask people for money.
Yes, that's true.
If anything, I feel good that I am in a position
That's-
to help them.
To help. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't trip out on them. But it just confuses me where I'm like, man, why am I so mad at this dude for asking me for money?
I think just because you're just not a generous person.
Maybe not.
That's what it comes down to. You don't like giving.
But I do help people. I do help people sometimes. But it's just like,
but do you feel? Let me ask you this: when you do help people, do you feel if they don't give back to you? Do you feel like mad?
I don't get mad.
So if you get, have you given somebody something that they didn't give back in return?
Yeah.
Do you? And what was it?
It was money, and I just didn't think. I was like, well, that's it for that.
They never paid you back.
They never paid me back.
You didn't get mad.
No. Surprisingly, no.
Have you ever held it over them?
Yeah, when they asked me again, I'm like, you just I was like, Tom, you asked me for this money, you ain't gave me money for that one.
All right.
So I don't know if that counts as being mad, but I was like, you gonna ask me again? You just borrowed this?
I don't. Yeah, okay. If you just stated it out to them, I don't think you're mad. I think you're just like, hey, look, man, this ain't happening again. Yeah, like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
That's basically what it was.
But when you start looking at where you are in life and you start realizing who you surround yourself with,
yes,
you start to really focus in on yourself and say, look, I'm the problem. I'm not where I want to be because of me and no one else. It's because I've listened to other people and I haven't listened to myself. And think about this. Why are you even scared? Why are you so focused on what other people feel? Like, why do you care more about their feelings than your own?
I don't know why. Like I said, maybe we just conditioned to.
That's what it is. It's conditioned. You are conditioned to feel like I need to please other people for me to be seen as a productive person in life. And you don't. By you being yourself and doing what you like to do, you will benefit other people because you'll show people, okay, this is what he likes to do. This is what they are. And guess what? You'll be happier. That's how you benefit people. Not by, okay, I'm gonna try to be fake and do something that what people think I should look like, how people think I should dress, how people, I'm not saying I really do respect people who are just their 100% self. Even if it makes me feel uncomfortable, even if I don't like maybe what they're doing, I like that they're being themselves. That's why you see those people on the this is perfect. I'm gonna tell you a story. So me and my father were driving down the street. And there was old white dude that was on the side of the street. Look, kind of looked like he was homeless. He probably was.
All right.
But he had these signs. And the signs didn't say I wanted any money. Didn't say, can I work for something? Nothing. All it said was, I hope you have a great day today. Cherish the day because you don't know if it'll be your last. Like it was motivational.
Okay.
Happy, just gestures of just trying to make people smile.
Okay.
And have a good day. And my father didn't understand. He was just sitting there like, why would he be doing that? That's so dumb to do that for. And I said, why do you say that? Why do you think it's dumb? Cause he's not getting paid for it. He's not making no money from this. So why do you? And I had to let him know. See, that's the problem. You think someone has to make money
to be happy.
And you don't. You just have to do what you want to do. And this dude wanted to stand out there on the side of the road and give good, pleasant messages to people to make them have a happier day.
Okay. I get that. I got one for you too. There's this dude in California. I forgot. He had a good job or whatever, high-paying job. He quit his job, bought an ice cream truck, and he basically drives around
selling ice cream?
No, giving it away.
And
he just, if you flag him down, he'll pull over What do you want? I want 2 scoops of vanilla. Boom, boom. Have a nice day. Drives off.
And that brings joy to his life.
Yeah.
That he can help other people. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with helping other people. But at the expense of yourself, where you not happy from it, then don't do it. You shouldn't do anything you don't want to do. Now, everybody seems like that guy that was on the side of the road, or your guy that bought that ice cream truck and went around giving ice cream away. Everybody thinks they're crazy. Everybody thinks they're wild. But see, the funny thing is, who's really crazy? Because they're living their truth. They're doing things they want to do that makes them happy.
And that's the thing. And that's a good point. When you're living your purpose, people aren't supposed to understand it.
Exactly.
Because it's not yours.
It's not the social norm.
Yeah.
Y'all like that plug right there?
And it's not your purpose. Like I understand what you're doing, right? But let's say you wanted to give out ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me to understand that.
That's a fact.
It's not for me. That is your purpose.
Everybody's got one life. Everybody brings something. Everything inside of me is different than him.
Yes.
I'm one of one. You're one of one. Your story cannot be my story.
Exactly.
And the fact that we all try to make our stories similar to each other, that's what's crazy. You're trying to make all of us be one purpose, and it can't be that way. God didn't make us that way. God has made us all different, so we all have a different purpose in life. To bring whatever, you know what I mean? So when I see people like this, I don't think you're crazy. I like, man, they found it. They found their happiness. Now, they might not be the richest person. They might, but they're rich in other ways. Rich, not materialistic, but in internal richness. And that right there, I guarantee you, is worth way more than material richness.
Exactly.
Because you got rich people every day
offing themselves,
killing themselves. How many homeless people do you actually see killing themselves?
That's a good point.
You don't see that. Because you know why? Regardless of what material, what we think they don't have, they have other things. They know for a fact who really fucks with them because they don't have anything. So if I'm homeless, you're homeless, and we're friends, guess what? It probably is a genuine friendship.
Because
I can't bring you nothing. You can't bring me nothing.
Benefiting from it.
Yeah.
I get you. That's good though. That's actually.
But when we both rich, are you with me? Are you around me because of what I can bring to the table? And we both, we just both trying to stay rich, or would you hang out with me if I was poor?
Exactly. And unfortunately, you gotta wonder that because people out there really doing that.
Yeah. It's wild, man. I don't know. I just want y'all to know, man. You can figure out your purpose, man. You just gotta stop worrying about what other people want from you, and just sit there and think about what you want. Look yourself in the mirror and say, what do you want?
Exactly.
And then once you find out what you want, take your ass to Google and find out how the steps to get there.
Exactly. I saw something on Facebook too. They said when you figure out what you want to do and the moves you want to make, sometimes it's better not to tell anybody.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sometimes you gotta keep it to yourself.
You know what? That's true. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't know how many times I've seen so many like discouragers and not self-sabotagers that don't want you to succeed because they're in this little box of what they want. They don't know they folded and didn't step out of their own box to be who they want to be. So they're in this matrix of no, everybody's got to be this way.
Yeah.
And they're trying to pull you down.
Yeah, they don't want to see you succeed.
They'll try to pull you down to be who they think you should be, which is the norm, and not be who you want to be.
That's true.
And
it's unfortunate.
You die inside. I feel like us men die inside, and this isn't just a man, it's a person thing. When you try to fit into a certain box because you think other people like you more, guess what? They won't.
I've done that in my marriage. I've tried to be this guy,
yes,
to make her happy, and in the long run, The only person who was happy was her.
No, you know what though? No one's really happy. She might even, I guarantee you, even if she tried to act like she was happy, she's not even happy. Because you
Yeah.
know why? Both of y'all probably didn't. She knows what she wants, and she's trying to force it onto you to be this way, and you're trying to conform to be that way. But you know in your heart and in your internal, that's not who you are.
Yeah.
And in the end, all it's gonna do is bring resentment for you to her. And then she's gonna feel like, oh my God, this person's bending to do something that I know that's not who he is. So how's that gonna even give her like nobody wants to feel like I'm making you be a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't want my if you in a relationship with a female, you don't want to feel like you're forcing her to give you head. You don't want to feel like you're forcing her to have sex with you. You don't want to feel like you forcing her to make you dinner. You want her to want to do these things because that's just who she is.
Yeah.
The same way as a woman, you don't want to force him to take you out on dates. You don't want to force him to take you on vacation. You don't want to force him to you know tell you he think you pretty. You want him to just do these things because that's who he is and that's what he wants to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So but the thing we don't want to do is is rip off the fucking band-aid. We'll go through the motions of what we think we should do with other people instead of knowing we know all along what we should have done, but we just didn't want to take that. Just like that woman in that video, she knows, and you can see it in her face what she's supposed to do, what she wants to do, what she needs to do. But then what does she do? I gotta go because she knows she's folding right into the matrix.
Yeah, because she was listening to her mother, and I remember that movie now.
Yeah,
she listened to her mother, and her mother was the one who sabotaged him. Truth be told,
because you know why? Because the mother saw what she wanted. She wanted. I see my daughter being with this type of man, being this type of wife. I don't see you with her because that's what it was.
That's what it was. And matter of fact, and this is a good point about this movie, right? Now, her mother wanted her to be with this rich man and all this other stuff. But then later on in the movie, she was like, I really was in love with this guy over here. Some guy, some like steel plant or whatever.
She admits to her
like,
that I'm putting you in the same path that I did.
Yeah.
There was a guy I wanted to marry, but I ended up marrying your father and never truly being happy because I thought this was the safe thing to do. And for you to take that leap of faith, let me go ahead and put you on the same path.
Exactly.
And the worst thing, this is why I say a lot of times you do gotta hold what you really love and want to do to yourself, because if you just tell it to anybody, you don't know what demons are coming out of them to try to manipulate and stop you.
Exactly. Case in point, when we first joined those workout classes, I forgot how we got on the subject, and dude told me, you shouldn't do that. You should just quit.
Who was that? Somebody at the workout class?
Yeah, no, somebody we work with.
Yes, you did.
I was like,
and you know what? You know what's so funny? He came to me and told me that. Yeah, I told him he should stop all that. He too old for that. He can't. Ain't nothing he could do it. And I looked at him and I said, "You told him that?" He said, "Yeah." Look at he's the same age as me. He can't do it. And I was just like,
why the hell would I listen to you, dude?
And I didn't say nothing about it until you saw it. And then you said, yeah, this dude said it. And I said, see, that's where he's putting you in the same box he's in.
Yeah, I was like,
and I'm like, no, you're your own person.
Yeah, I was like, dude.
They got 65-year-old dudes who fucking are ripped.
I was like,
who live a life of abundance, travel to Brazil and Egypt and all these different crazy places, and they live a life that they want to live. Yeah. So because you don't see it, I'm supposed to listen to what you say.
Exactly. That's exactly his excuse. Well, we're the same age. So what?
See, and that's the thing. I've had so many times that I told people, I said, look, this was my mistake because I did exactly what I thought telling people would help.
Yeah.
It manifests and whatever. But sometimes I realized, no, I just have to tell myself and let it manifest within me. I told somebody at our job, I said, I'm gonna be a millionaire. I will be a millionaire. And I'm telling y'all this. This is a true story. And you know what he told me? You can't be no millionaire. I said, why can't I? He said, you work here just like I work here.
Tell me nothing.
I said, you don't know what I do outside of here. You don't know what I do with my money. You don't even know like what my background. Like, why would you even say that? Because you can't. Ain't nobody here gonna be you. Y'all like me. You can't be what I'm sitting there saying no. See, that's the problem. Y'all think because we work in the same place, we the same people. We get the same results.
That's the only thing we have in common, that we work at the same job.
And that make me when he said that, I didn't want to work here no more because of that. Because I was like, the fact that you even think, and now see, there's two ways people can take this. They can literally say, yeah, you're right. I do work with you, and I fall right into that mix and jump right into what he want me to do. Or I can say, fuck you talking about, dude. You know what? I'm gonna prove it to you now. Exactly. That I'm gonna be one. And I can't, dude. I know you shouldn't be this way, but this how I can't wait to show it in my bank. I'm gonna text it and send it to this man. I'm gonna say, look it. Remember a couple years ago you said I couldn't do this? Here you go. I want you to see. Because the thing was, he told me this how this dude was thinking. He was like, I can't be no doctor. I can never be no doctor.
Why not?
And I told him, I said, you're right. You couldn't be one. He said, I know. I said, no. See, you thinking you couldn't be one because I'm telling you why you couldn't have been one. You couldn't have been one because you just said I could never be one. Because you thought and believed you could never be one. You sure as hell ain't gonna never be one.
Exactly.
But if you believed you could have been one and not let no one else tell you otherwise, guess what would end up happening? You'd have found a way to be one.
Yeah. I just let that dude telling me to quit. That just motivated me. And that's how I ended up doing 2 a day.
Oh,
like,
now I see why you were doing
fuck
two.
him.
He over there doing 2. I know you had something going on in your mind. I'm like, this dude is over here putting it on. Fuck her, fuck him, fuck them. I said, damn, he's killing it.
I was getting mad. All it did was it pissed me off when he said it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this.
And if you knew this guy, he's easily can piss people off.
Yeah, he
because that's what he even says. Like how, and this is the craziest thing to me. He gets off on making other people get mad and frustrated and focused on what he's doing to them. And I was just like, you got how bad is your life really? If that's what makes you have enjoyment, making people frustrated, making people mad, making people like, I know a lot of people say, oh, Canteen, you like to make people mad. You like, see, no, I don't like to make people mad. I like to give people my opinion. And if they get mad from it, that's okay, you get mad from it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I do like to play devil's advocate and have a good debate.
Yeah.
But I don't like to get mad. I don't want you to get mad at me because I think differently than you.
And this guy, he likes to antagonize. Mm-hmm. He likes to keep poking at you. See, those type of people,
I keep my distance from them. I hang out with them if I have to. But if I don't have to, I don't go out my way to hang out with them because they're draining. They're energy drainers.
Yeah.
And they're dream drainers. They try to, anything that you dream, because you got to understand, it starts with your mind.
Yep.
That's where it all starts. Once you get your mind right and you've already determined this is what you're going to do, and there's nothing else somebody can say, and that comes with anything. Marrying a woman, you say you want to be with this woman, I don't care what anybody else tells you. If that's who you want to be with her.
It is what it is.
And that's from anything. I know this is getting off subject, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Be who you're gonna be. If you're gay, if you're whatever you feel you need to be in life, be it. Now, do I believe in the whole a man being a woman? No, I don't really believe in that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you need to accept what limitations you have. You know what I mean? I think personally, somebody going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on plastic surgeries to make themselves feel something they're not. To me, that's a mental thing, and you got to work on yourself with that. But if you're a man and you want to be feminine, or you're a woman and you want to be masculine, and you want to just be look, I like to wear boots and hats and not wear dresses, then don't do that. Be who you are.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But be comfortable who you are and don't worry about what other people say or do, because at the end of the day, they don't mean anything. People who try to talk bad about people, they're just insecure with themselves.
At the end of the day, yeah.
That's all it is, guys. So don't be scared to be who you want to be, but take the time to try to be who you want to be. You know what I mean? And if you need to hit us up, man, you know what I mean? Hit my Instagram up, your boy Canteen. You know, hit his Instagram up.
Your man Beans, that's mine.
Yeah, your man Beans. And we'll, it's no big deal to us. I don't care. I got plenty of time to chat it up with people.
Yeah, I do too. Nowadays, especially nowadays.
I felt like my whole life was really meant to be like a counselor, to be somebody to talk to try to help people get through hard times, try to understand who they are. Within that, I'm understanding myself and learning who I am.
Yeah. That's the biggest surprise about like finding your purpose and living how you want to.
Mm-hmm.
To me, what I realized is how many wrong turns I've made. You know what I mean? Like,
but you know what though?
But I've learned.
But were they wrong turns? Because if you didn't make those turns, you wouldn't have got to here.
That's true.
And then to know what turns to make.
That's true.
That's why I
look at it like that.
Yeah. Don't be like, oh, I made these, because now you're just roasting yourself in the past. Say, damn, if I didn't make these turns, guess what? I wouldn't be right here to know where I need to go for the next 20, 30, 40 years. How I'm gonna live my life now. See, we get so worried about what we did in the past, and we get so worried about what the future gonna be. We ain't sitting about right now, today. What I'm gonna do today.
That's true. Maybe you should have been a motivational speaker, or should be, I should say.
Who you telling, man? I look. Sometimes I see some of these motivational speakers, and I'll be like, damn, I'm gonna do that one day. I'm gonna be on stage talking to people. When we had, when we went to Rutledge's, our friend's passed away funeral. Something in me wanted to go up there, and I didn't do it. And I don't know if it was because I was crying. I don't know if it was because of whatever, but
you could have said something.
I wanted to say something because I wanted their family to know and him to know, and he knows this because I talked to him in prayer, that I didn't know this man for a long time.
Yeah.
Knew him for a couple years, but he put a big impact on my life because every time I seen this man, he was smiling. He had a smile that would just,
every time he
brighten the whole room.
Every time he came in.
Every time he came in to work. Every time I seen him. And I was just like, you know what? I sit around, and we all do this some days, and do nothing, or sit around and mope about where my life is or what mistakes I made and everything. And it's like, dude, you could be going tomorrow. And that's the thing we don't really put into our minds. We could be going tomorrow. What you gonna do today to leave yourself a legacy?
Exactly. And you never know who's watching you. It could be somebody that you would never think is watching you do, live your life, how you live your life.
I was watching this. I watch a lot of motivational stuff, and I watched Nick Saban. Nick Saban is a very intelligent coach. He has a lot of things that he talks about that really you can implement in life for success. And one of the things he said, and I might butcher it, so give me some rope on this.
Okay.
He was like, if you want to be happy, for an hour, eat a slice of pizza. He's like, if you want to be happy for a day, go watch a movie. He's like, if you want to be happy for a week, go on a cruise. If you want to be happy for a month, he said, buy a car. He said, if you want to be happy for a year, get you a new house. But if you want to, he said, but if you want to be happy for a lifetime, ask yourself, if you didn't show up today, will anybody fucking care?
Oh.
And I thought about this, and I was like, damn. Because if you didn't show up today, would anybody fucking care? Means you need to start doing things in your life to where it actually puts a stamp on something. It actually makes an impact on people.
Yes. People notice.
People notice you. People notice what you are in their lives. But the only way you can do that is by figuring out what you want to do and be who you are. Don't be an asshole. Don't try to be, don't try to be mean to people. Don't try to belittle people. Try to dream, snatchers of people. Be the best person you can be. But he said, if you want to live, you want to have a good life, ask yourself, if you didn't show up tomorrow, would anybody care? And if the answer is no, then you need to start doing something about yourself.
I like that.
I was like, damn.
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban, man. Y'all go look him up, man. He's got some good motivational stuff. All right. I ain't got much else to say about it. Anything else you want to talk about before we get up out of here?
I was going to talk about how I saw this thing Kevin Samuel said. I usually don't subscribe to this dude, but he said that we men need to stop having sex with big women. I was like, what?
Wait a minute, what?
He said this.
What do you mean? Go ahead.
And it has something to do. I vaguely remember, but it basically it's like giving them value of,
I preferably like big
women. Well, that was my question. I said, well, what if you like?
So this is what I think it is, and I'm gonna be honest with you. What I think he's trying to say is, and like I seen this on social, when I went on I told you I went on my one friend's Tinder and Plenty of Fish, and I talked to somebody who actually is a very beautiful, attractive woman. You know her. I'll tell you later. Okay. And I asked her, I said, look, I looked at one of my friends who was like a 3, and they had 150 of people no one ever talked to. Just the guy messaged them, never had nothing else. Okay. What is yours like? She said, I have 1,000. She has 1,000 men who have messaged her who she has not even spoken to. And I told her, I said, pretty much what you're telling me is it's pointless for a man to message a woman in the DMs online. If she has any attractiveness to her, it's pointless. And she said, yeah. I said, have you ever talked to a guy who hit you up in the DMs who you didn't know? She said, no. I've never given out my number or talked to or pursued a guy that I didn't actually meet in real life. Now, if I met him in real life and he hit me up on Instagram, then that's fine. We could talk.
Okay.
But if I've never met him, she's like, I ain't doing it. And damn, I lost my train of thought. What were we even talking about?
We talking about Kevin Samuel saying.
Oh, yes. Okay. So what I think he's trying to say is a lot of times a woman could not be really that attractive. And because men are like crabs in a barrel, because we have to stand out from all these other guys. A lot of guys feel like the way to stand out is just to hit her up with all these compliments. But what the women don't realize is all these fucking compliments is just cap. All these men is just capping to try to get past the line.
Yes, okay.
But reality is the women are seeing the capping and believing it because it's like, well, all these guys couldn't be capping. No, baby girl, All these guys are fucking capping. And
I get it.
and to the point where, like I said, they're talking about buying flights. They're talking about doing all. And some of these guys are legit, but a lot of them are just capping because they're trying to get to the next level to
Yeah.
actually meet
You
this girl.
gotta compete.
So it's making girls who are 2s and 1s and 3s feel like 8s and 9s, and it's making the 8s and 9s feel like goddamn 20s. So they're having inflated ego about themselves, and they think because of the internet, they have more access to realize, okay, if I'm big, when it back in the old days, they didn't have access to internet. So big girls pretty much they were the nice big girls. You know what I mean? They were the ones that when you talk to, they were always nice to you. They give you a ride and everything like that. But now, because of the internet, they're getting guys from all over the world who are hitting them up. Even if it's 500 guys, they feel like their shit don't stink.
And it's like, well, I don't need you because this man wants me over here.
Yeah. See, they don't realize that the 500 guys, for them, there's 5,000 guys for this other girl, but they don't see that. So they just see what they have. So they're like, oh, I know somebody wants me because they're saying I'm beautiful. They're saying they'll do this for me. They're saying I'm doing that for me. They'll send me some money. You know, this dude sent me $50.
And some dudes will do it.
And they'll do it because they're trying to stand out. But it's like, dude, you're going the wrong way. One, the same dude who's messing this girl, she's over there dropping like it's hot on another guy that's really in her life. And he's laughing at all these guys. Like, look at this dude over here doing this shit. You know what I mean? Like he's just laughing at him because he's like, you're not even on her radar, dude.
Yeah, because when I heard him say it, I was like, yo, he's bugging.
Yeah. And when they do that, I'm like, but he's saying we need to get back to not capping for these women. We need to tell them the truth and say, look, hey, you know what? You're like a 4. You're like a 5 to me. You're like a 6. You know what I mean? You're not that pretty. I don't want you to, not trying to be mean to you, but I don't want you to think you are what you're not. You know what I mean?
Be realistic.
Hey, shout out to my man. What up with you?
Who is that?
I don't know. I don't even know how to say name. Akabali King. What up?
What up, King? Well, yeah. To be realistic, basically, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
To these women.
See, women always hit us with the fakey fakes. They're starting to be real because they be like, oh, you a phony, you a lame, you a goofy, all that stuff. Man, we always, for the most part, we used to keep it 100. Well, we never kept it 100. Let's be real.
No,
we never kept it 100. We always been game, but now the game is getting so inflated, and you're blowing these women's heads up. But the game ain't even a game no more because the game was like, okay, you can tell a girl sweet nothings, but then never actually do it.
Yeah.
See, there's a difference. You can tell a girl, you know what, man, I love to take you out, fly you over to LA and go on the strip so we can go ahead and get you some clothes and all. You tell her all these things. You don't actually fucking do it.
Now
these motherfuckers actually doing it.
Doing it.
And then what they doing is fucking the game for everybody else because they like these girls aren't even worth doing that for.
And he basically was like, and that's why a lot of these girls feel like they deserve a 6-figure man, 6 feet tall, and all this. And that's why they all say it because
I'm not gonna sit there and try to. Let's be real. I'm gonna be realistic about the shit. I know where I stand on a pecking order of life, so I'm not sitting there saying, "Oh, I deserve Beyonce, Keisha Cole." I'm not saying all these different. I don't know why I said Keisha Cole because she all right though. She ain't. Shout out to you, Keisha. But I'm just saying, I know I'm not gonna get the top echelon money making woman and I don't want that. I'm actually pretty simple. I want a woman who I think is cute. I like thick girls. I want a woman who can cook, clean, and can stand my ass. I'm simple.
Yeah. That last one's very important.
Stand my ass. That's it. And not argue with me because I'm an argumentative person. I don't want them to argue with me. You know what I mean? I want them to be like, all right, look, you get on my nerves, shut up. And I keep it moving. All right, cool. Because I can be annoying sometimes.
No, I get it. All you know.
Yeah. But I'm not sitting there. And, I like to be pleased. I'm not saying that, what I mean? And I don't mind pleasing, but
Well, who doesn't like to be pleased? I mean, really.
there are actually some people who rather please other people than be pleased. Which that's another thing you got to find. If you are a person who likes to be pleased more than you like to please others, you need to find somebody who likes to please others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hard when you find two people who just want to get pleased and then
they don't want to do
Yeah, they're like, look, I don't want to do nothing. I'm lazy as shit.
Yeah, man.
But then that's when you gotta say, look, what do you want? Put in the work to be with this person or not?
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. But Kevin Samuels, one thing I can say about him that I've learned from him is bold statements get traction.
They do. Because
bold titles get traction. That gets, and him and Donald Trump, I've learned it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, as long as you give them reaction, they're gonna come.
They're gonna come.
They're gonna come.
And it seems like nowadays people love the negative.
Well, it's an emotion. Negative is a stronger emotion than positive.
Yes,
I believe.
They love that negative stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I love watching ratchet stuff on TV, and
you're from Niagara Falls.
Even in real life, I know people who don't go certain areas because they always fighting and others. I'm like, man, I love going over there.
Yeah. Put in the comment section something that someone you wanted to do, but it stopped. Somebody stopped you from doing it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Whether it was society pressures, whether it was your friends or family. I've already told you so many times I've lived where I've had friends in high school. I wanted to date a girl and I didn't date this girl because other people were like, oh, she's ugly or she's lame or she's this. And I'm like, I don't see that.
Yeah.
But I folded under the pressures of friends and society. And then you fold under the pressure of like not doing a certain job or living in a certain area. It's like, dude, at some point you gotta just shake the haters off, dude.
You do. Some people just don't want to see you happy.
What they say, they don't want to see you win.
Exactly.
Not over here. We trying to win, y'all.
We trying to win. We trying to let everybody win.
Yeah.
I had a cousin.
Talk to me.
He always had problems in he dated a girl. They always had problems.
That sound like me. Go ahead.
And every time he would come, he said, well, he would say, I'm gonna just throw a random name out. John said this, and this, and this, and this. And I'm like, I said, you know what's wrong? I said, who are you dating? Are you dating this girl or are you dating John?
Dude.
I was like, every time you have a problem and every time you talk to me about it, this dude name keep coming up.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you do? What do you do? I said, are you telling him what y'all doing? He was like, yeah, I try to get advice from him. I'm like, that's your problem right there.
You're trying to get advice from somebody who hating on you.
That dude is trying to sabotage y'all.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. You just don't realize it. And then he didn't listen to me. And then he ended up breaking up with the girl.
And I bet you John over there went and got some cookies from her. He ain't gonna date her. That's too obvious.
Yeah,
he gonna just slide in, DMs.
I think he did, and
and
later on in life, he told me, he's like, "Yeah, you was right, man. That's all. That's all."
Dude, I watched. There's a picture I saw where it was somebody who just got married, a man, bride and groom, and the woman who was the maid of honor. When they're taking the picture, they're smiling, they're all happy. She's just looking at them like. You could see that the scowl hate she had for this situation but then in the caption it said, but this who you take advice from about your relationship.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much saying like, ladies, fellas, you got to watch who you ask for advice for, because you don't know what's really going on in their lives and what intentions they really have, because envy and resentment for people can really manifest into trying to sabotage you.
They will purposely tell you the wrong thing to do.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
And then act like, oh, I don't know why he would react like that. Maybe he's not for you.
And like I said, remember I told you my mother one time gave me advice talking about you got to wine and dine the girls. You got to take her out to dinner. You got to do these things. You got to do this. You got to pay for her. And my dad looked at her like, why are you telling him this? I never did those things for you. So why are you sitting there telling him them things? Oh, singing only. Oh, shout out Shay in the building. What up, Shay? She says singing. Now I only sing at church. Hey guys.
Hey.
Yeah. So singing was your one thing that made people stop. See, this is the thing. We gotta stop doing what other people want and do what makes us feel good.
Exactly.
If it makes you feel good to sing your heart out, look, baby girl.
Exactly.
Because I heard you sing, and I think you sing real good, but you know, you're nervous. I get it. You shy sometimes. And there's nothing wrong with being shy. But once you get past the reason people are shy is because they're scared of what other people are going to perceive them as.
Exactly.
If they're going to be, oh, well, you suck at this, or you're not good enough, or you're not that. And I'm telling you, you are good enough.
Exactly. You sing in the choir, Shay?
Yeah, she does. Well, she sings in a couple for church. She sings in church. It's like a little group.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So
good for her.
Yeah, man. You know, you gotta figure out. And like I said, I'm 32. My man,
I'm a little older.
You're a little older. We're not even gonna. You remind me of when you say that. That dude from a lemonade. How old are you? Old enough.
I'm old enough.
Hey, you know when you get in a certain age, when you start
counting.
You start not even start counting, but you feel uncomfortable telling people how old you are.
Listen, I asked somebody. I thought somebody was younger than me today. I worked with somebody today. I thought they were younger than me. They're 9 years older than me, and I gave that. I was like, really?
Oh, you gonna have to tell me who that is after we get off.
I didn't know. I was like, I swear to God, I thought you was younger than me.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Hey, y'all, I'm pretty much. I think we good on today.
Yeah.
You know, I want y'all to go ahead and hit that like button, man. Do it right now. Like, do it right now. I'm just playing with y'all.
Hit that like.
Share, tell a friend, subscribe, man. Because you know what, we're gonna be doing these off the YouTube platform now because we're trying to grow the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, if you guys want to hit the donation bug, you know what I mean, the one time on the Cash App, it's the Social Norm Podcast, you know, money sign in front. And yeah, today's Friday, man. You got through the day, you got through the week with the man. The man, you know, he been hitting you with the jabs and the hooks and the uppercuts, but you got through it, you know what I mean? And now today is the weekend, so we're gonna go ahead and enjoy the weekend, but also take time for yourself.
Yeah.
I want y'all all to just go into the mirror after you finish this episode and just ask yourself what you want. Figure it out just for the weekend. Just figure out what you want to do this weekend. Simple things like that will make you start feeling better about yourself. All right. Hey, man, I'm your boy Canteen. This is my man Beans.
Yeah, have a good weekend.
And it's the Social Norm. What you about to do?
I ain't about to do that.
Man, shut up.
Like
So now you better pay attention. They teach you lessons, make you laugh when you're stressing. Must I mention that the style is infectious? I gotta have it. The rapid fire gabbing on my tablet. My boys established a gamut of information from relations to